I'm Henry from the Adult Skills team at Blackburn-Darwen Borough Council. In this session I'm going to show you the adapted classic everyday stretches known as Makko Ho in Japanese yoga and key style aikido. The exercises you'll see are stretches or mobilizations to help with our lower back and our hips and our shoulders. The adapted classic were developed in order to stop your lower back being impinged and are also to do with a timed stretch. In the classic exercises we do a movement like this. In the adapted classic we stretch to a time, and I advise you to stretch for 2 minutes if you can on each stretch, because the brain has a mechanism where it tightens the muscle if it feels a stretch. This is in order to protect the muscle, but after 2 minutes the mind realises that the muscle isn't going to be injured and so allows the muscle to relax. So in yoga practices the stretch would be for a minimum of 2 minutes. If you pick and mix, or if you choose just a few to do as part of your routine, maybe you can stretch up to 5 minutes. This is your choice. In this session I'm going to stretch for about 15 seconds per side in order to allow me to explain what's going on. So we'll start. I have my loose comfortable clothing. I've already undone my belt 1 notch. I'm going to undo my collar and I don't have any cuffs. You may want, you may have a yoga suit, or you might choose to do these exercises in your pyjamas, or you may have some baggy pants. These are cargo pants, but you need room in the crotch area to move. Okay, so unlike the classic, in the adapted classic, with a forward stretch, I'm going to do 1 leg at a time. My left leg is forward. I'm stretching my left leg, the muscles on the back of the leg. Grab your left leg where you can, lift your centre and move into the stretch. I'm now counting using my watch. So I'm trying to relax my shoulders as much as possible. My energy is in the direction of the foot. If I feel the muscle relax, I can stretch a bit further. There should be no pain when you stretch. It shouldn't be uncomfortable. You shouldn't have to pull a face. I come up using my centre and I swap sides. Doing one side at a time like this relaxes the hips and allows you to stretch further one side. So lifting centre, moving in this direction, I'm going to do about 15 seconds. Because I've grabbed the foot, I'm also stretching the calf of the soleus as well as the hamstring in this exercise. The knee's relaxed, the knee is soft, and I relax as much of my body as possible while I concentrate on the stretch. Breathing into the stretch and allowing it to release. Come up using my core, swap sides again. For an extra stretch in the groin, you can move this foot further up and also press down. Grabbing left side, lift centre, move centre in the direction of the foot and press down if you want. We can see in this exercise that the arm's active. It's actually pulling. You don't have to use the arm can be passive. My centre is still extended in that direction. That's applying the stretch. Come up using core. You can do what you want with your hands. To support, you could read the paper. If you're stretching for 5 minutes, you might want to have a read. Lift, stretch and move the centre in the direction of the foot. I'm monitoring all the time, feeling what's going on, so that tomorrow or at the end of the week when I come back to these stretches, I can make a comparison. I can become familiar with them. Every time we stretch is different. We have tight days, we have relaxed days. It can depend on the time of day, it can depend on what we've done the day before. So, I've done the forward stretch, now I'm going for the wide leg stretch. This is fairly similar, but this is timed instead of a count of 5. So I'm going left side first, lifting centre, moving towards the left hand side. This time I'm going to hold the side of my foot, allows me to relax the arm more and relax the shoulders. My centre is moving in the direction of the foot. If I feel the muscle relax, I can increase the stretch more. Relaxing into the stretch, breathing into the stretch, allows the muscle to release. I put my hand down and move the foot out slightly. Grab the ankle, move it out. It's difficult to move it out on its own unless you're a martial artist maybe. So now I go right side, lifting my centre, lifting my core, moving over to the right. Put my watch where I can see, relaxing and breathing into the stretch. Today my right hand side is much tighter than my left hand side. Not really sure why, but that's life. This is the Zen part of coming back to the same thing again and again. It's the study of ourselves and the moment. Put the hand down, move the foot out. Right, we're ready to go forward. This time we can do this two ways. You have a choice, you can make your triangle and put your triangle in front. So we'll do that for 15. As a recap, I lift my centre up and over, relaxing your shoulders. I move to the stretch to where I start to feel the stretch, and it's a comfortable stretch. I don't stretch for pain. Pain is not good. Trying to relax the shoulders as much as possible. You can make your arms go limp if you want, if that's easier. This second variation, using my hands like a sled, I can push my hands out in front of me and even rest or hold my upper body with my arms. But it's better to use your core. Using your core to hold is much safer. Breathing into the stretch, feeling for the muscles to release and relax. Sometimes you get little twitches, sometimes you get little points of tautness or tightness. Just bear with them. And if you're doing these at home in your own time, if you have time, try and do at least 2 minutes. So, either using my hands for support or just using my core, I come up to do the next one. I'll just ease the back of my legs first, just tap my knees on the mat, gently massaging the back of the leg, whether it's the calf or the hamstring. Good. I'm going to put the soles of my feet together. These will look familiar for those people who practice the classic Makko Ho, bringing the feet in as far as is comfortable for you. It may be out here, it may be closer. Left hand or right hand first. Firstly, we push the knees down towards the mat. On this occasion, it's a gentle push and they stay down. You may wish to push one side down. Relax the hips as much as possible. And then the second phase is to move the centre up and over, and using our arms and our core, move forwards. Breathing to the stretch, relaxing as much as possible, not fighting the stretch. We're not competing with ourselves, and we're not competing with the next person in class. We're getting to know ourselves, becoming comfortable with ourselves. Okay, and coming up. Now I need to stretch the front of my legs, the quadriceps. And when I do the classic form, it can pinch the lower back. It can be bad for the lower back, especially if you have problems with your lower back. So this time I'm going to release one hip, which means I can stretch the thigh much more easily and comfortably. I'm going to stretch the left leg first. So I put my instep flat on the carpet or the mat, next to my left buttock. The foot is not underneath, that's not correct. It's right next to the buttock. And my other foot the sole of my other foot, is next to the teardrop shaped muscle on the front of the left hand side of the knee here, the right hand side of the knee in this case. So that's this foot tucked under, stretching this muscle, and this side is released. Means I can put my left elbow down, if that's comfortable, to start the stretch on this side, and if I'm flexible enough, I could put the next elbow down. If you're beginning to feel the stretch straight away, just shuffle back the hands until you feel the stretch come up and work with a light stretch. With the watch, I'm looking for a count of 15 seconds on this occasion. If you're at home, try and make it 2 minutes at least. When I come up, I'm using my hands and my elbows as well as my core, because there's quite a lot of weight on the back. And then I swap sides. This time the right leg is underneath. So the right instep on the mat, the left foot next to the teardrop shaped muscle there. We're stretching this leg. This is the open hip. Left elbow down, right leg stretch, left elbow down to begin the stretch. If I can put the right elbow down, and I can't see my watch, so I'm going to have to pick it up. And then I've got another 5 seconds to go. For some reason today, my right hand side is much tighter than my left hand side, but that's normal. And coming up using our hands. So, like usual, I'm going to do another set. So left leg underneath. This time I should be much looser. If you're doing 2 minutes of these at home, you only need to do them once. It's because I'm doing a 15 second stretch that I'm doing these twice. Where do you put your head? Well, wherever's comfortable. In this case, I'm quite comfortable like this, but I might be more comfortable with a relaxed neck and relaxed shoulders. Try not to collapse backwards, because it will put too much strain on the knee. If this is too much stretch, you can put the leg out, so you can release there. If that's too much stretch, and you're finding that the front of your shin is tight or painful, allow the foot to come out to the side. This is okay, but not ideal, because it puts a twisting stretch on the ligaments of the knee, which is not ideal. If you're finding this isn't working for you, you might be better doing the chair-based stretches, which I do in a different series. Last time I'm doing the right hand side. Okay. So stretching the right hand side, the left side is open, go to the left elbow to initiate the stretch. And then if I can, put the right elbow down. Keep breathing deeply and naturally. If you haven't got a watch, you can always count. If you're doing 2 minutes, you probably need a watch. Good. So now I'm going to move to kneeling. Sitting Seiza posture. The tummy is pushed out so that there is an arch in the back. Shoulders relaxed. Hands on the top of the thighs. Right big toe over left big toe. I'm going to stretch the thoracic spine now, and that's the bit of the spine in between the shoulder blades. Using my hands like the runners of a sledge, I go out and I push down as I breathe out. The arms are alive with energy, the arms are extending, so I don't allow the elbows to collapse and touch the floor. We don't do a timed stretch on this because that's uncomfortable. It's best to do about 5 of these movements, breathing in as we stretch out, and then breathing out as we push in between the shoulder blades down towards the mat. Sometimes you'll feel a crunch, and that's okay because it's the spine releasing. If there's a crunch followed by a yipe, it might mean there's a problem, so don't continue. This is 4, and this is 5. So that one looks fairly familiar to those who know the classic exercises. So is the next one. We're going to go from side to side to allow a gentle twist to the thoracic spine and the lumbar spine. Moving to the left first, we go out and push the armpit towards the mat or the carpet, stretching the muscle underneath the armpit. The latimus dorsi. Move to the right and push down. The other arm is alive and is a counterbalance. The bum comes off my feet. And you can do between 3 and 5 each side, just as long as you're feeling a stretch in this muscle underneath the armpit. That's the latimus dorsi and the intercostal muscles. Good. Okay, now I'm going to do the twisting version, but because the classic version pinches the lower back, which is never good, I'm going to release one side. Because my right leg's tucked under, it means the left side is open, so I can go the left side with no problem. The hand is in front of me, like I'm holding a pint of Guinness, but the fingers are extended. I've just dropped it, that's the feeling. Extended fingers. The hand comes up and over as the elbow searches for the mat. As the hand comes past my face, I follow it towards the mat. You can see how much further I get than in the classic style. Up and over. We can do between 3 and 5. Never force the twist. It should always be soft and gentle. The greatest amount of energy is in the hand. So do between 3 and 5 each side and then swap. So the left foot is under, the right foot, the right knee, so the right hip is open. I'm going to go right side because that is open. So my right hand as I support is moving away, so my left elbow can go to the mat. The hand comes over and I follow the fingers towards the mat. Follow the fingers towards the mat. A gentle rotating stretch. If you feel a pop or a crunch in the back, that's okay. If you feel any pain or a pop then a spasm, then stop immediately. Okay, we're going to move to cross-legged. We'll do the cross-legged stretches. It doesn't matter which foot's underneath. Sitting cross-legged, like most of us haven't done since we were children. Grab the knees softly underneath. Move your centre up and over, and we're looking for a good stretch of about 15 seconds. You may wish to rock from side to side, which is mobilising the hip, deep within the hip. This allows you to stretch the piriformis muscle, which some people find pinches their sciatic nerve. I can come up using my core, I can use my hands if I need to change sides. We're also stretching the gluteus minimus and the gluteus maximus, or just the glutes. A good deep stretch. The centre is up and over, moving towards the mat. Get as low as you can. You can do a hands out in front of you version, which puts more of a stretch on the lower back. Or you can just concentrate on becoming small using the arms. And slight wiggle from side to side can gently mobilise deep within the hip. And come up. I'll show you extension stretches for this series in another series. The last in the series is rolling. Rolling allows us to massage the muscles of the back. It also mobilises the spine. But the muscles have to be active in order to make the roll happen, if you see what I mean. If I just stay in a curve and try and roll, see what happens? Nothing happens. So the back the muscles of the back have to be active. So if my right foot's forward, I'm rolling on the muscles on the left-hand side of my spine, the erector spinae as they're known. So I'm going to do a count of 5 each side. This is known as Koho Tento Undo, rolling exercise. Think back, go back. Think forward, move forward. Think back, go back. Think forward and move forward. And then swap and do the other side, which I'll show you. So if the left foot is forward, I'm rolling on the muscles on the right hand side of my spine. I'm having to use my back and my core to make the roll happen, and it will take practice. At home or wherever you are, make sure there's nothing behind you, because rolling on a piece of Lego or hitting the coffee table isn't good. And come to a dead stop. Okay, that's the adapted classic set. If you feel you can't go down on the floor like this to do these exercises, then I suggest you look at the completely adapted set where we use 2 chairs. That's next in the series. Thank you.